The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to our Global Associate meeting. My name is Andy Hanson, standing in for Mr. Dan Anderson today. It's going to be quite a short webinar because we don't have too much information to share with you, but as always, the information is important, so I hope you have your pad and your pen ready so you can take down any details that you need. And also, as ever, if you do have any questions, please feel free to just drop us an email at the office at events@welcometoleo.com, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. So today we're going to be looking at quite a few things. We're going to be talking about Eid, the renewal fee. We're also going to be looking at news from Asia Pacific. We're going to be looking at Brazil, the executive trip, digital market service, the UK Leaders Summit, new products, and some notices and updates. So there's quite a wide range of topics to talk about. But they're all important in their own right, so make sure that you do take down the details that you do need. And obviously to all of our lovely members around the world who Eid is relevant to, then we're glad that that's come, and we're hoping that you're having a fantastic time and that you're meeting with your friends and your family and all the things that go along with that. So we just wanted to pass on our good wishes to you from everybody at the headquarters and from all of the members around the world. Whether or not people celebrate Eid is irrelevant, because we're a multicultural, multi-faith organization. It's very important that we do give recognition to all of the events that happen in all of the different religions and cultures around the world. So best wishes from all of us, and we hope that you have had and continue to have a fantastic time. Let's look at the renewal fee. So the renewal fee that you should have been notified about already is only £12 a year, which really is laughable when we consider that most network marketing companies charge anywhere between £100 and £200 a year. And as was explained when this was announced, this is really to help us to continue to support the members in the way that we want to, but it also helps us to clear the database down, because there's a lot of people in the database who, you know, are there, maybe not active, not looking to really build their Leo business, and it's just a good opportunity for the corporation to see where they're at, but also for you as leaders to see where you're at, because obviously if you look at your team and there's 10,000 people in it, the real question is how many of those people are active. Now, if you joined before the 4th of July 2017, then your first renewal fee will be due by the 4th of July this year, and then the 4th of July every year thereafter. If you're in your first year right now, then your fee will become due on your anniversary of joining us date. Now, obviously, if anyone fails to renew their account will be cancelled, and there is one of the most generous grace periods that I've seen any networking company ever offer that's been put together by the board and the senior management at Leo. So there really is no excuses. You know, people can't say they didn't know or they didn't get the email, because there's multiple emails that will go out. And also, if you fail to renew, your account will be cancelled. And the reason is because we need to continue to develop the business and help those that are helping themselves. And, you know, being a member of Leo is about building the brand, building your own mindset and education, and also about helping us to build the organization around the world. So people that are card-carrying members, should we say, that just sit there and do nothing, and have done for many, many years, that don't really want to participate and build a Leo business, then it's better that we get them out of the system than having them just sat there taking up valuable resources. Because obviously hosting back offices and hosting websites and supplying webinars and email newsletters and all the other stuff the company does around the world costs money. And we don't want to have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that are just sat there doing nothing. So that's the reason for the renewal. It's not really going to raise a lot of money for the company, I must say, not at £12. So it's not about the money. It's about ensuring we've got an effective database and we actually know what we're looking at to develop the business forward to 1 million members and more. So some news from Asia Pacific. You'll see that one of our members there, Chen, has actually put together a shopping site that enables merchants and purchasers to be able to interact with each other using the Leo coin. Now, this has now had a new upgrade to the site. I mean, it's amazing what members will do, what entrepreneurs will do when they're looking to actually get their businesses moving faster and quicker and more effectively. So it's a lot easier now for merchants and customers to use the new site. And this member is up in Fujian province and has done a tremendous job putting this together. So you may want to go and take a look at it. Actually have a look. It is in Chinese, but at least you'll get an idea of what members are doing to help themselves there. So congratulations to Chen, and it's really, really good to see the actual updates that have been made there. Now, Brazil. It's going to be here before you know it. I know it, it's 2019 and we think, oh, golly gosh, that's a long, long way away. It really isn't. It's like 190 days to Christmas, something like that already. And before you know it, the end of the qualification period will be upon us. And then the company will be in all of the planning and all of the lovely things they have to do to make it in an event that will be life-changing and no one will forget. So you really need to set your goals now if you're looking to join us at that event. This will be the second annual holiday that the company's had, but it will be the 7th annual global conference. And to earn your ticket, all you have to do is personally introduce one new member to the Leo team and help them reach the rank of associate by the 31st of October this year. And that's anybody you've introduced from the 1st of May this year. So there's a real big qualification time to do it. And there's already loads and loads of people that have qualified. So I guess my question to you is, if you've not qualified already, have you made the decision to be there? Have you made the decision maybe you're going to take your partner and your children with you? The first thing you've got to do is make the decision. Once you've made the decision, then you can put a plan together that's going to effectively get to where you need to be, and then you work that plan. But it all starts with making that decision. It's like the longest journey in the world will start with a single step. And the single step you need to take right now is to make the decision to be there. And when you actually think about it, why wouldn't you want to be there? To be rewarded for helping other people to be successful. To be rewarded and be able to associate with all of the other people that are there for that great period of time, for 7 days, 8 days, 7 nights, and to be able to experience something that most people are not going to experience in their lifetime. The idea of you taking yourself and your loved ones and your family to Brazil for an 8-day holiday may be completely off your agenda, probably because of the financial implications of doing so. This would cost you a serious amount of money to do as a private holiday, but you don't need to. You can go absolutely for free by just committing to your goal of being there and then working with a new member and helping them to be successful. What better way to earn a free holiday than helping someone else to be able to learn, earn, and own as they work with Leo? So make the decision today to go, and don't be one of those that ends up disappointed where you make the decision too late and you qualify too late, because when the places are gone, they're gone. This really is a first qualified, first guaranteed ticket situation. And for more information, do go to brazil2019.learnandown.com, which is the micro website, because there you'll be able to see lots of information about what's planned, the location, and all the other stuff about it. This really is not to be missed. And I'm confident, having traveled around the world for Leo in the last 12 months or so, that we've got enough leaders now that are working hard enough for us to be able to fill that resort. This is all inclusive. Everything's covered: your flights through your travel bonus, your hotel, your breakfast, lunch, or evening meal, all of the parties, all of the excursions. Everything you possibly want to do will be covered while you're there. So make that decision, and make that decision to join us in Brazil. That leads us on to Morocco, the next executive trip, which is from the 5th to the 9th of October. And Morocco is a fantastic place. I was lucky enough to go there with Dan and me here last year, and we had a fantastic time. We went up into the Atlas Mountains, and we were able to see a completely different culture, completely different to what I've experienced in the Far East and what I've experienced in America and the UK. It's an absolutely amazing place. And you might be thinking, really, well, why do I even want to go executive and go on this executive trip? Well, I don't think that's for me to answer, to be honest. The best thing you could do is go to the executive trip website and look at the testimonials, look at some previous trips with the videos, and talk to your upline. Talk to people who have already experienced, so you can understand what their motive was for getting on that trip. And you really should want to be there. You still have time to qualify. You have to qualify at the rank of executive by the 30th of June, so you've got a couple of weeks left. But all you got to do is make a little bit of a surge. All you got to do is to get your team motivated and help other people be successful. And then you can join us on that fantastic trip. And I can tell you, there's some amazing lifestyle trips that are being built into this particular one in Morocco. So if you've qualified, make sure you register. If you haven't qualified, you got 2 weeks. So much can be done in 2 weeks. Make the decision and help your team, and then help yourself. That turns us now to the digital market service, which has been an absolute runaway success, I've got to say. And, you know, when I look around the marketplace at other companies that offer similar services, not the same, not as good, I would think, but similar services, this is tremendous value for money. And what we're seeing around the world is people combining a 1 month gold pack with the DMS, because obviously the 1 month gold will take a member to the level of bronze, so it needs to be to purchase this pack. And then people have seen great returns. Now, we can never guarantee that returns will stay the same. Of course we can't, because, you know, it goes up and down, and the market goes up and down, and trading goes up and down. But so far to date, these have been very, very impressive returns. Now, if you haven't got one, I would suggest that you definitely should look to get one. And if you're bringing on new members, I would definitely look to get them a 1 month pack, either a gold pack or a standard education pack, and then tack on to that the DMS service, because this is a great way for people to get confidence in the company. And the team at Leo have done an amazing job at setting up the UK-based data center that's doing this and setting up all of the hardware and all of the equipment. The good news is obviously you get 1,000 BP and RP, which is great news. There's great commission involved here, and anyone that purchases their DMS from the 1st of June to the end of June, they will start to receive their return rewards from the 30th of September. So there is a delay between purchase and implementation of your actual mining service, because hardware has to be purchased, it has to be imported, it has to be programmed, configured, set up, and got running. And that takes time. And it takes time to get it correct. And people sometimes say, well, can't you do it quicker? Well, maybe company could, but we couldn't be able to say that the guarantees would be the same as regards to the returns that have already been experienced by the members. So focus on the DMS, focus on it as a great recruitment tool. This is a great way to talk to people when you're actually looking to expand your team. The UK Leaders Summit is fast approaching. And that the qualification for that is now finished and done. So if you qualified, then make sure that you download your ticket and you follow all the information that would have been emailed to you to ensure you can attend that event. It's very, very important, because there are cut-off dates for claiming your ticket, cut-off dates for supplying your travel information, cut-off dates for visas, etc., etc. And what we don't want is a sudden mad rush at the end, and poor Emma and Ursa and all of the events team are running around like headless chickens trying to solve problems that are created because we as members haven't actually followed the instructions. So do check the email, do check that you've done everything you need to in there, and make sure that you've got your visas and all the things that will be required. And if you have any questions, please email events@welcometoleo.com, and the team there will be able to support you and give the information you need to ensure you get here safely, you have all the travel documents that you need, and then you get to experience something that no one so far in Leo has experienced, which is to come to England, to go to some of the most historic sightseeing trips that you can imagine doing, to have great time to come to the offices, meet all of the staff, and also spend quality time with senior people in the company, other leaders from around the world. This is a really once-in-a-lifetime event. So if you've qualified, make sure that you do everything you need to join us in September. Now, we also see that Professor Moyes' materials have now appeared. There's 15 courses that are entirely in Urdu, and they're available now on anger management, communication skills, confidence building, creative visualization, and emotional intelligence. And you'll see by the branding there that Joel and the team have done an amazing job at branding up, and they continue to rebrand a lot of the products that already exist on the platform. So this is something that should be very, very attractive to a lot of our members, because it's in Urdu and it's available now, so you can go and download the courses. And Dr. Moyes is somewhat of a celebrity in his own country and around the world. So this is something we're very, very proud to have on the platform. So I'm looking forward to seeing the downloads of this, to see that people are really embracing it and are using all of this. And so many of those things there, like emotional intelligence and communication skills, are really important as an entrepreneur and as you build your Leo business. So notices, office closures that we have coming up because of summer holidays and things in June. 12th of June, the Ivory Coast office in Africa will be closed for the day. On the 14th of June, the United Arab Emirates and Turkey's offices will also be closed. Then we also have the Ivory Coast, UAE and Turkey on the 15th of June that will be closed. And on the 18th of June, China and Hong Kong's offices will be closed. So do make sure that you've got that. Take a screenshot quickly while it's still there, because it's important you know and you communicate out to your team as a leader that the offices will be closed on these days. Because people get really upset when they call the office and it's closed. So we just need to let them know in advance that this is going to happen. So we were talking about Eid at the beginning of the presentation, but today also is a very, very important day in the Chinese world, because today is a day, or they call it Dragon Boat Festival, and it's all to do with the story about a Chinese loyal man that, rather than follow a corrupted person, committed suicide. And this is something that, you know, is seen particularly in Japan and China, you know, falling on their sword rather than be seen as something that you're not, or following people that are corrupt. And it's more sort of honorable to do that sort of thing than to just ignore it and carry on. And I think there's lessons for all of us in that, because, you know, we live in a very, very odd world. Things have changed. You know, people are reacting differently. And particularly in network marketing, one of the things that's come around in the last few years is the attitude of, well, if I can't make $1 million in network marketing in the first 6 months, then I'm not interested. And the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, that that is just not real business. You know, any business that claims they're going to make you multi successful and wealthy in 6 months or 12 months or 18 months with little to no effort is not a real networking company or a real direct sales company. Because one thing that we all know in our hearts to be true, you get nothing for doing nothing. Now, if you want to build a successful business, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, then you have to actually work, and you're going to have to work hard. Because if it was easy, then everybody in the world would be ultra successful, have all the money that they want in the bank and all the things that they want to do on their goal list. And that's not the reality. So, you know, when you see businesses that come and go, you have to ask yourself, really, what was the intent in the founders starting the business? And when you see businesses that come along and make these enormous claims that they're going to be able to help you become uber super rich in no time at all, and all you've got to do is 1 2 3 and bing bang bosh, and there you go, you'll be successful, you know in your heart that's not true. And that is something that should make each and every one of you so proud of Leo, because Leo is a business that's been around for 6 years. It's led by Dan Anderson and the board and the senior executive team, a person who understands how you start a business and how you develop it, and you build foundations that ensure the business will still be here in 10, 20, 30 years' time. And unfortunately, there isn't any place in that model to help people get rich quick. So when you see these things and you see these businesses coming from all directions to you and your team, just ask yourself the simple question: if they're making promises of financial gain in little to no time with little to no effort, it has to be a scam, because it's not possible for this business to develop in a professional way if you're giving massive returns and the numbers don't stack up. So this story of this guy, you know, and this festival that Chinese celebrate, really is to remind people in that culture that it is better to fall on your sword than it is to follow a corrupt system or to follow a corrupt person and then in turn become corrupt, because they obviously believe in karma. What goes round comes round. So maybe we can all think about that today and think about why we decided to work with Dan and why we decided to work with Leo, and how we can help our newer team members to understand that the latest get-rich-quick scheme that comes along is not the answer to their long-term development and their professionalism. So the call to action: digital marketing services available. Buy in June and you start to receive rewards in September. I would get all of your team that haven't to really now step up to the plate and do this in June. Buy your Leo Gold Packs, qualify for the Gold Compensation Plan, and then you can be trained also how you can sell our AutoSave product. and use the Gold Pack and the DMS, combine them together because it's a very powerful package. And this means that you're able to recruit people into your team and you're able to explain things a lot easier than if you start going into great detail about cryptocurrencies. Qualify for Morocco and the executive trip, because this is something that's the first real marker in your business as you become a leader and you start to hang out with the people that are exactly what you've done and all of the ranks above that can help you as you develop yourself as an entrepreneur and you develop your Leo business. And lastly, qualify for Brazil. Why wouldn't you? If I said to you, all you've got to do is find a new team member and work with them and help them to reach the rank of associate, and we will give you a free ticket and a free flight and free food and free accommodation and free alcohol and all the other things that go along with it, you tear my arm off. But because this is an incentive, people tend to look at it and go, oh, well, I don't really need that. Oh, I don't need to go to Brazil. It's not about needing to go to Brazil. It's about wanting to. It's about wanting to be part of that special group of people that spend that time together as they work together to develop themselves and to develop their businesses and Leo as a brand around the world. And make sure also that you've got next week's webinar in your schedule. I know the summer holidays are coming and people are starting to plan to go away and things like that, but it's only a few minutes of your time once a week. It helps you to stay in front of the curve. It helps you to ensure that you're getting all of the latest information. And there'll be quite a few of the senior management going off to the UK DSA conference next week. So there'll be good news in a couple of weeks, I'm sure, from things that have been announced at the DSA conference as Leo continues to work ever closer with the DSA. Why? Because this is a real business. We want to help people to learn how to be an entrepreneur. They can earn by helping us expand the brand, and they can own assets and things that in the future can help them to secure their family's future. Have a great week. Make this week count, and I look forward to seeing you all over the top.